What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Roy, accompanied by the one, the only, the Dominican bad man, Sergio, aka the floor price guy. And we're Combat Sport Guys coming back to you with another UFC full card breakdown. This time in the form of Manel Kape up against Asu Almabayev. We have some flyweight action going down in Vegas at the Apex. But before we do, let's go over last week. UFC Seattle, banger of a card, a lot of surprises, in my opinion. I did not predict Ricky Simone to get a knockout. I didn't predict Ion Kutelaba to get a submission. I did not predict Gene Matsumoto to get robbed, to lose his O in that fashion. We'll get into that. We went both 8 of 12 in our picks. We kind of went. I think this is the first time we both went even, right? In the longest time.
No, we can't even. Well, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, there's been times where we've chosen the same fights, but this is the first time we've gone even choosing different fights. So that's very interesting. And then we had a great card in UFC Seattle, and then it ended in a not so great fashion with Henry Cejudo and Yadon Song finishing via technical decision due to an eye poke, which caused a lot of confusion, a lot of conversation. We'll get into that. Before we break down UFC Vegas 103, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, and let's get into it. So first and foremost, shout out to Crypto Fiend, supporter of the pod. Hooked us up with great merch. He got a hat that fit my fat head.
Ooh,
it's clean.
That's fire, bro.
I should be doing like, look at that.
You see this hat right here?
Is this how Cali does it?
Yeah. Once I get that bucket, this hat, we're retiring it, brother.
Is this how Cali does it? Yo, what's up? What's up, Surfer Man? Surfer Man.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, I'm just playing. I don't want to get stabbed. Don't stab me. No, I know jujitsu. Fuck with me. But card was good, man. Hey, fuck Cejudo, fuck the ref, and fuck Saddam. All these three motherfuckers. Whoa. Yeah, bro. There's so much going on. Nah, bro. That was my biggest bet. I'm not even sore. You know what I'm sore, bro? When the ref comes out and says, man, I should have deducted a point. Brother, don't, because the point deduction would have been a draw with my money back. But also Cejudo quitting in the third round when he wasn't seen would have resulted in a no contest.
It's interesting because when you think about the last week, we had what's homeboy's name? Bonfim, right? When he said he couldn't see, they immediately ended the fight. It resulted in what was the result of a doctor stoppage, right? TKO doctor stoppage?
Yeah.
Was it it was a TKO doctor stoppage for Zalekov, right?
But it was based on a legal strike.
Yeah. So what should have happened, I think, is if Cejudo would have immediately said, I can't see, due to that illegal strike, it would have been a no contest, right? Because it would have been immediate. But since he took the 5 minutes, since he finished the round, it resulted in him saying, hey, I can't continue anymore due to my vision being blurred, turn into the technical decision. Sucks, man. I don't think he knew that. Maybe now he knows, but yeah, sucks, man.
As somebody that went heavy, I went heavy on this dude, bro.
No, I know you did. I know
critical. And
but
it's just like
he was losing, bro, before that anyways.
He was losing. He wasn't
even shooting no takedowns. What happened? That's not the same Henry Cejudo.
Because Henry was counting. Well, in the third, he turned it up. I find that the third round, Henry turned it up and was having good success. But like Yadong had 3 fouls, like nut shot, eye poke, and then that serious eye poke. And it's just like, brother, what are we doing over here? Like that's, bro, if I'm a UFC fighter, bro, I'm going to hit you in the eye, get you a little blur, get you a little, Captain Hook shit, hit you again. Bro, you're going to be seeing twins.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate ending to a card. And, before we go further, we forgot to mention that we gave you some picks in Austin Vanderford when that fight dropped at dog money. And then we also gave you Ion Kutelaba. I believe that Ion at age 31 is beginning to mature. He's beginning to put it together, right? One of my concerns, when we broke down the fight was that he starts a little recklessly and he throws these wild hooks and you can't really count on him to wrestle, but he did admit that his wrestling is getting better. He's working on it. So I think if he polishes those things and kind of locks it down, he can make a nice run in the light heavyweight division. What do you think?
The boys are going to hate me, but I think he won. He was active. He bloodied that man. It's controversial. I understand it.
No, Ion. We're talking about Ion, not Rob Font.
Ion, give me the last name.
Ion Kutelaba.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't know what I was
Yeah,
thinking about.
you started talking about Rob Font. Yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah, man, I was right on that one, wasn't I?
yeah,
Because I told
Leon,
you, like,
you're right.
he's maturing. Like, it's just like, bro, when this guy came up, he was fed like Glover, Texera. He's getting fed all these guys, and it's like, bro, like, he's only losing to like tough opposition. And
Yeah.
I like the Turkish power, but Turkish power, one of the things that we're seeing is either you're in the contender series or you're not fully, you know, proven, or you come in and dominate. Like, it's insane because it's a flip.
One of the things, before we move on now, last thing I want to talk about was the Rob Font and Gene Matsumoto fight. Going into that third round, I had it 2-0 for Gene. That third round, I was like, okay, chill out, do what you got to do. And what happened? He engaged in those strikes. He got cut up, right? He looked bloody. He looked damaged. And I thought, okay, he lost the third round. It's going to go to him. He's going to win the fight. I had a tweet ready, bro. I had a tweet ready, written out like, oh, that's how you end out a fight when you're going up against a striker. You know, like this Yusuf Salah should take notes. I was going in, bro. And when I heard that scorecard be read by a split decision, Rob Font, I was like, whoa, are you
But
kidding me?
yeah, but I
So,
mean,
so how are we judging these fights? Are we judging based off of damage? Because my man got bodied in the first round. He got taken down. He got controlled. Yeah, he outstruck him. But
second
how are
one was
we
close.
grading
Second
these
one was
fights,
close.
bro? What
It's the
happened?
same. It's the same way Sedujo was given one round. It's the same way.
It's
It's just you
ridiculous,
don't know
man.
what the other judge like. That's the criteria because it's striking, grappling, and octagon control. And Rob was pushing that boy. Like, he was
Yeah,
pushing him. So I don't know, man. Like, when it went towards it, I say I could see Matsumoto winning. However, I could see Font winning, and it's that thing. It's like I'm not surprised. When was the last robbery we had? Um,
oh well, a
that
big
was
robbery, or was
yeah,
that
yeah.
UFC?
That this guy
Like
should have
UFC
won.
308 when Liao, the guy that was steroided, lost
Mhm,
to Fakhretdinov. 308. Remember that?
mhm. There it is. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. My so it didn't feel like that because Facarino got murked. But yeah, I remember that was a good fight actually. But yeah, I mean, we live, we learn. Nothing you could
Yeah.
do. It's the same with Sedujo. The twins, my boy. It's all good, bro. Great card. Shout out to Fluffy. Fluffy got it done.
Yeah,
Silva.
Fluffy admitted that he was sick too, that he was coming off of antibiotics, so that's why his performance wasn't that good. And then Brendan Allen, Brendan Allen could be better if he was more confident in his striking, right? Because he was tagging Hernandez on the feet, but for some reason he likes to go in for those scrambles. He likes to go in for those takedowns, and he's more comfortable on the ground, obviously. But he should have more confidence in his striking.
Bro, sometimes I'm trying to pick a different thing, by the way. So I don't know, man. Bro really needs to lock in.
Yeah,
Honestly, at this point, it's just very. I don't know, bro. It's You can say whatever you want. Bro had so many different chances to go in for the kill. Didn't. It is what it is. But a great card overall.
yeah,
Um,
my favorite card this year so far.
there it is. It's good.
And remember, at the start of the year, you said that the Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas was
Still
9
9
and
out of
10.
10.
So, are you comparing all those cards to that one? Does that one beat the Amanda Ribas and Mackenzie Dern
This
card?
was a 9.
That was a banger.
This
Okay,
was a 9. It
okay,
wasn't
okay.
a 10 because of the main, like,
No, you can't say that. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah,
they
I guess.
brought you up here, bro, and then they ended like that. And then Cejudo's like laughing, blah, 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 blah. Bro. Bro, what are we
Yeah,
doing
very
over
weird.
here, bro?
Very
What are
weird.
we
Very
doing,
weird.
bro?
All
It's
right.
either retirement or flyweight. How about that?
Yeah, just
But we'll talk
retire,
about that
bro. Get
another
the fuck
day,
out of
bro.
here. Retire already. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all you've done. But you gotta hang them up sometimes, man. All right, let's kick off this card here. We have a woman's bout. We got some flyweights going at it. We have Montana de la Rosa taking on Luana Carolina. De la Rosa is 13-9-1 and is 2-5 in their last 5 fights, last beating Andrea Lee via split decision. Carolina is 11-4-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 fights, last beating Pudilova via unanimous decision. Now, Carolina, she's a striker. She has a background in Muay Thai and kickboxing. She's pretty tall. She likes to fight at range. She doesn't necessarily excel on the ground, but she is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Reach advantage, striking output. She has somewhat of okay fighting IQ. She is the better striker of the two, and she has learned how to pace and maintain her pace within her fights. Her takedown defense is a little questionable. It's at 58%. And going against somebody like De La Rosa, who is a grappler, she has a background in wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where she is a black belt. She does have some submission wins on her record. She's durable. She's only lost one time via KO. Her striking isn't the best. So if you look at this fight, and it can go either way, in my opinion, but this is women's MMA. I'm going to actually bet the over. I'm going to look at that. But if you're going on the side of De La Rosa, you have to depend on whether she's going to get takedowns or not, right? Are you confident that she's going to get those takedowns and secure those takedowns? If you're going on the side of Carolina, she is the better striker, the more technical striker. I think her takedown defense could hold up against somebody like De La Rosa. I don't think she's like a Khabib level wrestler that's going to push the pace and secure multiple takedowns. Yeah, I think Carolina's going to get the victory. I'm going to go with Carolina to get this done.
Yeah, Carolina too. I don't think the Rosa coming from the Ultimate Fighter, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, I think the clock is ticking with her. I would have had her more if you gave me a little bit more reach, height. Yeah, I don't think she does anything with the wrestling. I think Carolina just gets it done. Let's see. Let's find out. Opposition wise, you have here a lot of good fighters, but Andrea Lee, and disrespectfully, Andrea Lee was a top 15 back in the day. Not anymore. She split decision, Rager close decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Carolina gets it done. Yeah, even these two fights, it's a low. Honestly, it's a low.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on here to our next bouts. We have a men's flyweight bout. A lot of people are upset that the placement on this card. I agree with them. I think that Charles Johnson should be on the main card. He's a fucking great fighter, man. Entertaining. And then you have a prospect that is going up against. This is a banger of a fight, in my opinion. This should be up on the main card, maybe even the co-main, right? We were talking about it off air. You have Charles Johnson, who's a seasoned UFC fighter, taking on a dangerous newcomer in Ramazan Temirov. Johnson is 17-6-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Sumarderji via unanimous decision. Temirov is 18-2-0 and is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating CJ Vergara via KO TKO. Johnson, we know what Johnson brings to the table, right? He has good durability, good grappling, wrestling background, kickboxing background. He likes to fight at range. He throws nice kicks, sets up his combinations well with his jabs, has good cardio. He's pretty well-rounded. He has the reach advantage in this fight and should look to move laterally, set up his jab, and not let Temirov get into the pocket and close the distance. When you look at the side of Temirov, he's fast. He has the striking, and the striking technique are pretty good, and they're crisp, right? He has good kickboxing. He starts his strikes to the body and finishes to the head. He's an aggressive forward pressure striker and just doesn't. But the issue is he doesn't have the UFC experience that Charles Johnson has. I'm going to be interested to see how his takedown defense looks if Charles Johnson does look to incorporate that type of game plan, right? I think striking, he's fucking dangerous when it comes to striking. Man, he throws those crazy kicks. He's dangerous in the pocket. I like Temirov here to win this fight, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think the odds should be a lot closer than what they are right now. I think it should be dead even, but I'm going to go with Temirov. I think he can get it done. He's a good prospect in my opinion. I like what I've seen from him.
Yeah, and so do you think Temirov takes Charles down?
I think he entertains the idea, but what he can't do is I don't think he can get frustrated and shoot desperate takedowns. Kind of like, we talked about Brendan Allen up against Nasruddin Imavov, right? When he wasn't having success on the feet, he was desperate in shooting takedowns. I don't think he could be like that. I think he's going to have to use his striking to level change and get a takedown or two. But he should finish the rounds with a takedown if he wants to win. He shouldn't do that right off the bat because Charles Johnson is dangerous.
So I'm going for Johnson if Johnson is able to keep the distance and manage it. He's pretty game for wrestling. I think he's a former wrestler, if I'm not mistaken. But this cat Temirov is a whole different animal, and the fact that you know he appeared as a slight favorite, it's just the fan base of Charles has just pushed that into favorite money for him, and I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It just means it's better for you if you're going to bet on Tamarov. I
Yeah.
mean, this fight is really a low for me. Um, I don't know. And that's the cool thing about the fight pass, the weigh-ins, and all these different things. You get to kind of know this guy's from this camp that we don't know about, but has he been training with American camps or other camps that are well established? So we're gonna find out a little bit more information, because if so, the other thing too is it's a short replacement fight, right? Temirov is hopping in, if I'm not mistaken. He was supposed to fight somebody else. Am I correct, or am I making that shit up? If I am,
No,
that's great.
I think this fight was always in.
In okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll making it up, probably confusing it for Royval. Yeah, I'm going with Charles. Confidence is low, like I said. Temirov could surprise us and be that guy from that division now, because that division needs somebody that's going to propel it. Charles has been trying, but they're still making him fight outside of his rank. So what do we, you feel me? So I think the UFC thinks he's not ready. So
Yeah,
maybe this fight,
that 7 inch reach advantage is something to look at, right?
does
I
he
agree
use
with
it?
you.
Does he use it, or does he get out?
We'll
We'll
find
see.
out, man. We'll
Find
find
out.
out. But I'm not mad at the pick. I'm not mad at the pick. Next
Yep.
up, we have some women's action. We have a banger of a fight. We have Andrea Lee, who's on an 8-fight losing streak, going up against JJ Aldrich.
Fuck.
Lee is 13-10-0 and is 0-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Montana de la Rosa via split decision. Aldrich is 13-7-0 and is 2-5, last losing to Hardy via unanimous decision. Now, Lee is a striker with a Taekwondo black belt, favoring kicks to the legs and body. She has decent boxing. She has a 68-inch reach. She likes to utilize the range, and not doesn't necessarily have the power, but she likes to accumulate her shots before she looks for that power punch. Her grappling is okay. It's not the best. She's more comfortable standing on the feet. She has a 47% takedown defense, but I don't think she has to worry too much because she's going up against another striker in Aldrich, who is a technical boxer with quick hands, high volume. She's not necessarily a knockout artist. She throws with a lot of output, like we see with a lot of these women, right? They throw a lot of output. They don't have a lot of power, but she grinds out. She has good pace, good cardio. I mean, this fight, I don't really care, but I'm gonna go with JJ Aldrich to win this fight, man. I just think Andrea Lee. I mean, how do you argue that she's gonna? How do you argue that she's a solid dog, right? When she has that record that she has, right? She doesn't have the momentum. She doesn't look like she's getting better. She looks like she's on the decline, right? Um, Up against somebody like JJ Aldrich now, who is 4 years younger than her, right? How do you break down this fight? What do you think? Do you think these odds are justified, or do you think Andrea Lee is live for a dog pick?
It's just the record doesn't indicate, but she has faced, like, if you look at the opposition she's faced, it's not been Arujo tough, Barber tough, Silva. I think Silva is the
She's next up.
he's
We'll
next
talk
up
about
with
it. We'll talk about
yeah,
it when
yeah,
she's
yeah.
315, right?
Maverick. Yeah, Maverick. JJ, if I'm not mistaken, does train with Rose Namajunas from time to time. I don't think Lee. If it stays standing, JJ has a good job. JJ has those kind of weird encounters. She knows how to get it away. I favor Andrea Lee. I think if JJ comes in and mixes it up, I think she takes the win. I don't like her track record. I don't know where she's at mentally. She had a thing
Yeah.
with her former coach, and it's just super strange. I don't know what are the incentives here. Like, are you trying to you trying to get like the paycheck, or you're trying to become world champion, right? Even with your shitty record, that's a 13-10. That's a shitty record,
Yeah.
respectfully. But I don't know how they haven't cut her with that record, respectfully. I'm gonna go with JJ. I might bet on JJ, to be honest with you. I think Yeah, I've seen more of the slower side of Lee versus the slower side of JJ. How about that?
So you're gonna go with JJ Aldrich as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're both picking JJ Aldrich to win this fight. We'll move on. I'm gonna go. So I think these fights, like the both women's fights, I think they're all gonna go to a decision, in my opinion. So I'm gonna look at the over 1.5, the over 2.5 to see if those are better odds, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
this
throw it.
will go to
Yeah,
this.
maybe throw into a parlay, and we'll see what happens there. But once those props drop for me, I'll look that out there. And we always throw our bets out on X. Make sure you follow us on X. Show some love. Next up, we have some featherweight action. We have Lucas Almeida taking on Danny Silva. This is going to be a good fight, in my opinion. We have Silva, who is 9-1-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Josh Culibao via split decision. And then we have Lucas Almeida, who's 15-3-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Kwamba via unanimous decision. We have two people who are exceptional in striking. They both have great striking. Almeida is a Brazilian kickboxer with a diverse arsenal of kicks, combos, counters. He doesn't shy away from pushing forward. He has okay Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's a purple belt, but he prefers to keep the fight standing. He's durable. His takedown defense is at 50%, which could be an issue against great grapplers. Now, you look at the side of Silva. He is fast. He's an aggressive forward boxer who likes to throw with volume. He has knockout power. He pushes forward. Um, in his last fight, we were able to see him mix in the takedowns. So I think that's going to be the key difference in this fight, going up against somebody who doesn't necessarily feel too comfortable on the ground in Lucas Almeida. I think I'm going to go with Silva in this fight based on the fact that he can incorporate the wrestling and takedowns in this fight. But I think the odds are a bit disrespectful. I think it should be more so even because Lucas Almeida does throw some nice strikes. He does have some power behind his strikes. And, if Silva starts off a little too wild, he does not protecting himself, he could get caught. But I'm going to go with Silva to get it done here. I think he's going to incorporate the wrestling.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Almeida. It's a low with Almeida. You got fighters that are kind of like the discrepancy age is 6, not that much.
Mm-hmm.
I like Almeida's record a little bit more. I don't think Silva has been tested yet. I think this will be a fight that will show us who Silva is. If he could run through him and establish he's top dog. But like I said, I think Almeida gets it done.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Next up, we have bantamweight action. We have Sexy Mexi. Douglas Silva taking on Sexy Mexi John Castaneda. The Andrade is 29-6-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Miles Johns via unanimous decision. Castaneda is 21-7-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Marcos via unanimous decision. What do you have here, man? What are you going with?
I like Silva. I like Silva, brother, but I don't like that age. I don't know. I don't like the age of Silva, but Silva's always a guy that gets it done for some reason. These odds are mad disrespectful, by the way. I'm gonna go with Andrade, bro. I think Andrade, he has one more in the tank, one more for the winning call, and one more for the Brazilian. Andrade, low.
Okay. I like Castaneda's boxing and his wrestling and his Brazilian. I think he's just well-rounded, right? He has more tools in the toolkit. He's faster, he's technical. He can mix in, he could level change. I think he's gonna overwhelm De Andrade, man. I think he's gonna push forward and just kind of overwhelm him and get it done.
Andrade is tough though. That's what I like. Yeah. He's just like,
well, the thing is though, like he has to protect himself. If he pushes forward too much and he's too aggressive, it can be used to his disadvantage with De Andrade counter.
This is the fighter, by the way. This is the fighter that does that. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He has to protect himself if he's pushing forward.
A little bit disrespectful. I will be doing a money line on Andrade, by the way.
Cool. Do what you gotta do, man.
I like a good plus money.
Ricardo Ramos taking on Kape Mariscal. Both fighters here are known for their durability, man, and their dog mentality. We have Ramos, who is 17-6-0 and is 2-5 in his last 5 bouts, last beating Culibao via split decision. Mariscal is 17-6-0 and is 5-5 in his last 5 bouts, last beating Jackson via unanimous decision. Kape is a pressure fighter. He's a dog. He has a wrestling base with some kickboxing background as well. He mixes in his takedowns. He has about 1.8 takedowns per 15 minutes. The striking is good as well. He attacks to the head, legs, body, throws with volume. He also has some knockout power with 8 KOs on his record. He's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He also has a submission threat. He's a fucking dog. He has great cardio, man. I think he's going to push the pace on Ramos, who, when you look at somebody like Ramos, who he's versatile in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with slick Muay Thai. He has good combos, good body kicks, all that stuff. But I think he's going to get overwhelmed here. I think, if you look at his record, he has 4 KO losses, right? He's struggled against people who apply the pressure and people who move forward, and he's going up against somebody who does exactly that in Kape Mariscal. And I think Mariscal is going to go in there. He's going to push the pace, make this his fight, and I think he gets it done. I think he's live for a finish, in my opinion.
Brother, the one thing you are, you're not respecting my guy Ramos. I'm going with Ramos. The opposition he's faced is top caliber. Like I said, it's one of those fights where Andrade and the other cat. I'm gonna go with Ramos, man. I like what I've seen from him. It's just he's gotten too many he's just too wild, bro. When he shows signs of greatness, I think this kid is could become the next it. But it's just then his next fight he loses. I think he gets a win. He gets a win this fight. He's gonna surprise, especially. I'll be honest with you. That odd is mad disrespectful. So with that odd, you're expecting Kape to come in and get him out of there in the second round.
That's what I said. I think he gets it done.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Ramos, Charles Oliveira, he's working with Team Alpha Male. Let's see, bro. Your boy's on one last fight, so maybe Ramos has been training with your dong, and
Yeah,
we're gonna find out.
Sean Strickland trains with Pereira, bro. Do you see Sean Strickland knocking people out?
That's different, though. No,
do you see Sean Strickland knocking people out, bro?
Don't be disrespectful, bro. That's brother.
Do you see Sean Strickland knocking people out
with the leg? With the leg.
All right.
The leg.
It's like DDP says. Listen, they can be in your corner, but they're not in the octagon with you, baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Next up, we have our featured prelim. This fight was on the main card, and then it got dropped down to the featured prelim. It swapped with the Danny Barlow fight. We have Austin Lane taking on Mario Pinto. Austin Lane is 13-5-0 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Robeles de Spain via unanimous decision. In that fight, that fucking pissed me off. De Spain, he knocked himself down, remember? He threw a kick, and then he landed on his back. What the fuck are we doing, De Spain? Now he's over in karate combat, beating all these bums. It's good, though. It's good for his confidence. Shout out to De Spain.
Right, bro.
Shout out to De Spain. Pinto is 9-0 and is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Camacho via KO. Lane, we've said it before on this channel. He's a former NFL player who turned into an MMA fighter. He's athletic. He has power. He's primarily a striker, although we have seen him utilize takedowns against strikers to kind of take away their striking prowess. He has nice punches, knees, 7 knockouts in his 13 wins. His wrestling's okay, as I mentioned. He has 1.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. He's 6'6" with an 80-inch reach advantage. He has the 0.1-inch reach and the 3-inch height advantage over Pinto. Pinto is an undefeated Portuguese prospect with a kickboxing background. He's crisp, technical in his striking. He has heavy hands, 6 knockouts and 9 wins. He's shorter, as I mentioned. So he's going to have to look to get into the pocket of Austin Lane, right? And Austin Lane, we've seen him get chinned before. We've seen him get knocked out, right? So his grappling, I'm not too – I didn't get to see too much of his grappling defense and how he looked on the ground, but I am confident that if he does get taken down, he's going to be able to be brought back up to the feet. He has good cardio. I'm going to go with Pinto here. I think – I'm going to go with Pinto low, man.
You see that undefeated record. My boy's salivating over there. But what's not salivating is those odds. You're giving my boy a plus 280. He defeated the bad man of that division. Let's be honest with you, bro. My guy, Robeles, if he touches you, you're going down. The fact that Lane didn't go down said a lot about Lane. So I think Lane's maturing. I think Pinto hasn't been tested before. He's about to get his winners. And look, the boys in Topology giving 95% knockout. What, because of he had one good night? What about
I don't. But bro, you're saying that he defeated the bad man in Rebellis. Rebellis didn't even touch him. Rebellis knocked himself down.
nah, bro.
He took
Bro,
Rebellis down to the ground. Remember, we were like, what's going on here? He sat on him for 3 rounds.
he did good, and then like I just think he's been faced. Like I think Denise is a top. Remember Denise? I bet against Denise. Yeah, I got that bet done. But what I was going to tell you is Tafa's a bad man when it comes to closing the distance. I don't think Pinto could close the distance as good as Justin Tafa, to be fairly honest with you. We're going to see. It's a low. I'm going to go for Lane. Mario Pinto, I don't think he has that big camp experience where he's fought, better. It would surprise me. I just don't think he's fought better heavyweights than him. I think he's been the dog.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out. I'll learn, and that's the thing about shout out to doing corner work, because as fighters walk on interest, you hear a little bit more information. Oh, this guy went to AKA trained, faced Cormier. Okay, well I'm a little bit scared now, but I don't think Pinto. So Lane, and like I said, bro, I love me a plus 280. Come on now, that's a money line. That's a tenner. That's a tenner. We're eating Five Guys tomorrow night off that win. Remember that.
Okay. All right. My man talking crazy. Listen, I don't know what time it is in Canada, guys. I apologize. They're having a tough year, though. You got the Drake stuff. You got all the other
That's
stuff.
crazy.
So give my man a pass. Give my man a pass.
That's
We
crazy.
have Danny Barlow taking on Sam Patterson. Do you think I'm going to be mesmerized by the 9-0 record here? Let me ask you that. Do you think I'm going to fall in love with this 9-0 record?
That's crazy. I'm looking at this shit.
No, you
Bro,
said that I was in love with the record of
well,
Pinto. Do you think
a
I'm in love with
heavyweight
this record?
a heavyweight is different. Okay, let's
No,
just
I'm
get.
just asking you. Do you think I love this record? Because we got 3 undefeated cats on the main card. Do you think I'm gonna pick all the undefeated cats?
I think you're gonna pick Danny. I think you're gonna
All
pick
right,
Danny.
we have Danny Barlow, who is 9-0 and is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Berentenikov via split decision. We saw Berentenikov up against Austin Vanderford last week. He got demolished. Patterson is 12-2-1 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Crosby via submission. Now, Barlow is a versatile striker with a kickboxing background. He blends his sharp punches, knees, and kicks. He's got legit finishing power. 6 knockout wins in his 6 knockouts in his 9 wins, and has a knack for ending his fights early. He has 5 first-round finishes. His wrestling is decent as well. He showed good grappling defense against Dustin Dupima in the Contender Series, and he's been tested defensively up against grapplers, right? He's 6'2", 79-inch reach. He's got the 5-inch reach advantage here, but he lacks the experience. He's going up against Patterson, who's tall. He's a rangy fighter. He has the Taekwondo base. He throws spinning kicks, has long-range strikes. Those are his bread and butter. He likes to stay at the distance, and then he looks to close the distance and get the fight to the ground, where he has strong Brazilian jiu-jitsu and he looks for submissions. I think he's going to look to not allow Barlow to close the distance. He's going to keep the fight at range, and then he's going to level change. And I think he's going to bring this fight to the ground. If this fight gets to the ground, I think he's live to find a submission, man. I'm actually going to go with Patterson here. I'm going to go with the dog in this one. I like Patterson to get this one done. The thing is, though, he does have really bad striking defense, right? So if Barlow's able to freaking start off explosive, push the pace, get in his face, and get him out of there, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be long, bruv. But if he's able to utilize that range, that reach, and keep the fight at distance, and then look to bring this fight to the ground, I think he's live to get a submission here, man. I'm gonna go with the dog here.
I'm gonna go with the favorite. Yeah, I mean, look, I look at two things in this fight. I look at the American versus the guy from the UK. I look, we go like back in the day, the UK fighters really have a grappling game and they're good in striking, but like you said, like they're striking openings with Patterson. I just don't like the minus 305. I don't like that tag on him.
I mean, this is gonna be his biggest test in facing a grappler like Patterson.
That's the issue, right? Like, and the issue is how well prepared is he going to be when it comes to the grappling? But like that being said, how advanced is Patterson? I'm going to go with Danny Barlow by a low.
I don't know, man. After seeing his fight against Varentenikov, he took him to a split decision. He couldn't get him out of there. He looked like he wasn't really he throws strong strikes. He throws with power, but I didn't see him really like apply that pressure, going for that kill right up against Varentenikov, who's not that good. I mean, he's okay. But then I watched, Patterson up against Crosby, and he looked good in that fight, man. He looked like his striking looked good. He kept the fight at range. He had good positioning. He moved laterally. I like him to win this fight, man. I think he's gonna show some. If he gets caught early, then I'm gonna look like a fool. But if he's able to weather that storm, he's gonna look good, man. I think he's gonna expose some things from Barlow.
I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna watch a little bit more film on Patterson because
watch that Crosby fight, bro. Watch that Crosby fight. If you didn't,
I don't like the plus 305. That plus 305 is mad disrespectful. So it's the minus 305. Like you're assuming that he's gonna get out of there. And
because it's because he's known to knock people out, right? And then this guy has been out of there.
Yeah, but Ventrikov, had a, Austin Vanderson got him out of there this weekend.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that, how Vanderson, and it correlates to tough opposition, but Vanderson got him out of there. And then my man was more active, like after the fight.
But the odds are based on what people are, betting, right? They see a guy who has a bunch of knockouts, he's undefeated, up against a guy who has 2 knockout losses on his record, right? So they're all banking on the fact that he's gonna knock this guy out, and that's a possibility, right, for him to knock him out. But I don't think it's gonna be that easy, man. I like what I saw from Patterson in his last fight.
But it's value, right? Like I like value. When we bet on fights, I like to bet on. That's why I like.
I'm gonna look at the sub. I think once the sub prop is out, I don't even know if it's out yet. I haven't checked, but I'm gonna probably entertain that idea. Throw some money on the sub. It could happen. I could be wrong, but we'll see.
Do we gotta rate this one, or we give it a Gomis off the bat?
We gotta do it for the video, man. We gotta do it.
I'm mad
we have featherweight. We have William Gomis. No, we're bullish on Gomis because in his last fight we went against him, right? We both chose Joe Anderson Brito to get him out of there, and his style proved to be effective, man. He won split decision up against Joe Anderson. So we have William Gomis, who's 14-2, taking on Haider Amil. Gomis is 14-2-0 and is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Joe Anderson Brito, as we mentioned, via split decision. Amil is 10-0. He's undefeated. My boy's licking his lips over there, seeing that undefeated record, huh? And is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Yong Lee via KO. Gomis is a technical kickboxer. His nickname is the Jaguar, El Jaguar. He's a French striker with the kickboxing base. He's tall at a 5'11", 71-inch reach. He likes to pick his shots from distance, utilize his jab, his kicks, his body strikes. He's got good power, but he's very precise. He's very technical, right? He likes to take his time. He makes his fight at his pace. And that's what upsets a lot of people because he's not flashy. He doesn't go out there. He doesn't get in your face. He doesn't throw all these wild strikes. He kind of just does his thing, man. He does his thing. Some people describe it as being boring, but it gets the job done, right? He has low output. That's the reason why people get upset. He has low output when he's out there fighting. But I think he gets it done here, man. I think he's the better fighter, man. You look at Amil, no disrespect. He has good pace. He's an aggressive boxer. He throws wild combos. He's got knockout power. He has a wrestling background too from his days in Bellator. I don't know if you were able to see him in his Bellator days. He is shorter though. He is giving up 3 inches in height and only 1 inch in reach. I think if he's able to, push up Gomis against the fence, get in the pocket, right? Utilize his explosiveness, his power. I mean, it could be chaotic, right? I'd like to see what Gomis does in that situation if he's able to, quickly, get out of that position and take the fight to the ground. I want to see what happens though. This guy is necessarily he's unproven in the UFC, right? He hasn't gone past 1 round in the UFC. So I want to see what his cardio is going to look like if it goes to the second round, because I think it does go to the second round if he doesn't get him out of there. I'm going to go with Gomis, though. Gomis is going to win this fight.
Gomis going to, first round fighter. Split decision back in the day. I'm going with Gomis. I think, this is Amil's toughest test. The fact that what he was able to do to Brito, man, that was scary because he was able to keep him at range.
And Brito was coming forward, throwing those hooks. Remember, we were like, damn, he's going to get him out of there.
But he didn't, and that's why I think he understands. And when I look at the MMA Factory, the thing, damn, coach that ripped. Nah, that boy got a
It's
belly,
looking
bro.
like you, bro. What's going on right there?
Nah, bro, that boy got a belly, bro. That boy got a belly. But listen, my man's been training with where's the cat at? The guy that won oh my god, I forgot the name of it. I'll remember. But I like the MMA Factory. I think he's been working on his footwork a little bit more. With that range, he's gonna keep him on the outside a bit. So he's gonna have success. So we're going with Gomis low.
Right on. We'll move on here. We're both picking Gomis to get it done. We have a lightweight bout, and our man Esteban Ribovic taking on Nasrat Haqparasat. Haqparasat brings a well-rounded skill set. He's 17-5-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Gordon via split decision. Ribovic is 14-1-0 and is 4-5 in the last 5 bouts, last beating Daniel Zellhuber via split decision at UFC Noche Latina, which was a banger of a fight, right? He had Zellhuber against the fence, remember? That was a great fight. Fight of the year contender, I believe. Haqparasat is a slick boxer with crisp technical striking. He has fast hands. He has good head movement. He has a knack for combos. He's got okay power. He has been KO'd in the past, though, by Drew Dover. He struggled against elite finishers, man. He was outworked by Hooker, by Green. And I think a lot of this is going to be the same in Ribovic. He's a firecracker. He's an aggressive boxer with wild power. He likes to move forward, get in your face, get in the pocket. He throws in those uppercuts, attacks to the body. He throws heavy hooks, spinning attacks. Yeah, I like Ribovic, man. I think he's an exciting fighter. I think I'm going to go with Ribovic here. I think he gets it done.
With with Nasrat, has Haqparasat, Kevin Gastelum's long lost brother. I think he gets it done, man. He about to surprise you, motherfuckers. At a plus 215, I'm licking my lip.
My boy, you chose all the dogs on this card. What's going on?
No, not all the dogs. All the ones against you, except the heavyweight guy. But listen, I just think he's the better fighter. To be honest with you, that decision was a close decision with Daniel Zellhuber. Zellhuber has a thing where he's lengthy, but he's slow. I don't think he's that quick. So, I look at the fight and I'm like, he was able to take advantage of somebody kind of clumsy and slow. But when it's time to face this man, bro, this guy has it. He lost to Hooker. Bro, Hooker was number 5, beat Gamrot. He lost to Green. Green was top 15. So, especially at a plus 215, I think the confidence is there for this young man. Beat Jerry Gordon to a split decision, which many people thought it was close. I'm Nasrat gets it done. Medium on Nasrat.
Okay. We'll move on here to our co-main event. We got Cody Brundage taking on Julian Marquez. Brundage is 10-6-0 and is 2-5 in the last 5 bouts, last having a no contest to Al Hassan, where punches were thrown to the back of the head. Marquez is 9-5-0 and is 2-5, last losing to Zachary Reese via KO. What do you got here, man? Break it down.
Give me the Cuban missile. Give me... Bro, this cat had a chance with Miley Cyrus, bro. This cat, and he fucked it up. After that, you see that losing streak, bro, is because of that, bro. But he's faced top opposition, bro. RoboCop. I mean,
RoboCop got a bunch of extra hits, man. I think he hurt that man.
It did hurt him. Mark Andrade, which is like, I mean, look, he was doing. Mark Andre's no joke. It's just he's lost a couple in a row. Zach Reese, you know what is up with Zach Reese as well. I think he gets it done. I think Cody, they brought Cody to fight Bo Nickel. Obviously, got submitted, but Bo Nickel's no joke. I'll tell you this. The only thing I don't like about the Cuban Missile Crisis is his cardio. I don't know, brother. Can I get back to you on this one? I gotta see who's coaching him. Is he still in Vegas?
I'm gonna go with Cody Brundage here. I think Cody Brundage gets it done. I think he has dog mentality. He's durability. Yeah, he's the wrestling, the durability, and up against somebody who's gonna who has been KO. He looks like he's on the decline, man. He has a bunch of wear and tear, man. That Gregory Rodriguez loss was not good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Brundage here. I think he's gonna dog it out. I think he's gonna get it done. I like Brundage
I'll
here.
go with the Cuban Missile Crisis. I like the name. Let's be very complex and very confusing, because the Cuban stuff, I like Cuban coffee. Crisis, I'm trying to think, but I don't know, man. I feel that if he doesn't get it done in the first round, or second, it's gonna be a long night. So let's see if Cody's able to wrestle him.
No, this fight's. I think this fight's gonna end in a finish. I think someone's gonna go out.
Yeah.
I don't think he goes this. Yeah, I don't think he goes the distance.
Who's the better wrestler? You think Cody?
Cody, 100%.
Let's go with the flip. I don't like him at a minus. I think it's a little bit disrespectful. It's closer to even that fight.
Okay, we'll move on. That was our co-main event. We are on opposing ends. My man's going with the Cuban. He likes the name. He's upset that he got turned down by Miley Cyrus.
No, he fucked up his chance. Yeah, we fucked up his chance, for the record, Your Honor.
We'll move on to our main event. We have Manel Kape, who was originally supposed to take on Brandon Royval for the #1 contender spot. Royval got injured. He pulled out. In steps in Asu Almabayev. Now, Almabayev was already scheduled to be on this card. He was in a fighting camp, so I don't think he's necessarily coming in on short notice. He's just switching up the game plan, right? Manel Kape is 27-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Silva via KO TKO strikes. Almabayev is 21-2-0 and is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Nicolau via unanimous decision. Almabayev is undefeated in the UFC. Kape ranked number 6. He has the speed, he has the power, he's super fast, he throws heavy, sudden flurries that end fights quick. He has a 77% takedown defense. He shows he's tough on the ground. Even though Muhammad Mokaev was able to expose some holes in his game plan in that fight against him, it was primarily the takedowns that won him that fight. But that's Muhammad Mokaev, man. I think, and also in that fight, he broke his toe. So for Kape to break his toe and still go out there and finish the fight and lose via decision, speaks a lot to him. He has good cardio. The issue here in this fight, I would say, is he hasn't gone the distance. He hasn't gone 5 rounds, right? So up against somebody like Asu Almabayev, who has a wrestling background, he has 18 takedowns across all his UFC fights. He lands him at a 50% clip, right? He's dangerous on the ground. He has 9 submissions and 3 knockdowns. But all his fights in the UFC have gone to a decision. He has fought in 5-round fights before. So my question here is, and this is the one thing that I'm kind of going back and forth with, is how does Kape look in the later rounds, and how does Asu look in the wrestling department, right? Because you have a wrestler who's getting takedowns at 50% going up against somebody who has a 77% takedown defense, right? So is he going to look desperate in getting those takedowns? Is he going to get pieced up on the feet? Because I think Kape is the better striker of the two, although, Asu has good striking. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I'm going to go with Kape to win this fight. I think he's a more explosive fighter. He's a more entertaining fighter. He has the momentum on his side right now. The speed's going to be a bit too much. The takedown defense is going to be there. I don't know if Almabayev is going to be able to secure multiple takedowns. But this fight, to me, is going to be really interesting to bet live. I think once we see that first round and see how easy it is for Almabayev to get a takedown or not, we're going to see the odds shift. So what do you think, man?
Yeah, who's the better wrestler, Muhammad Mokaev or Asu?
Mokaev, man.
Yeah, my boy ain't coming back to UFC, bro. They told that boy, go to the PFL, bro. Go make some money.
They don't like him, bro. He's a diva, bro. He's difficult to work with, they say.
It's not that, bro. It's like when you do fights outside of the hotel, bro, and you're, and then when you go and fight, you're not really fighting. You're grappling. Yeah. But then when there's like a pause in the first round, you want to actually fight, and then we don't talk about that. But I'm gonna go with Kape. I think it's his time. My little bro's time to shine. My man.
He's funny on the mic too, man. When he called out Kai Kara France, He said, "You gotta stop ducking me. If not, I'm gonna come to your gym and no one's gonna do anything because they're all faggots." Bro, that's a bad man, bro. Cop.
I see
My
that,
man
man.
called out Israel Adesanya, bro. A
You
little
know,
flyweight, bro, calling out Adesanya. What are we doing, bro?
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say he was gonna piece Izzy up one time. I
He's
like
funny, man.
Kape,
He's a
bro.
funny cat.
Well, but it's just like it tells you about where his mindset is at. Is that it's similar to like Bobby Green. Like this guy thinks he's the man, right? And it's why he was gonna slap up Izzy. He's like, "You shut up." And Izzy was like, "Yo, I'm a." It was insane. But the only thing that I'm worried about is the takedown, and yeah,
This is where I'm at, like I think the Bruno Silva fight, Kape looked really good, but was it Bruno Silva? Who was it that he fought? I want to make sure I got my Silvas right. Oof, before I look like an idiot.
yeah, Bruno Silva.
Was it Bruno Silva? Okay. That Bruno Silva fight kind of complemented his style more, right? Because they're both strikers, right? So he was able to outstrike him. He looked good in that fight. He got him out of there. But this is like a classic grappler versus striker here, right? But I'm not as confident in Asu being that prominent grappler and securing multiple takedowns, controlling. Because let's say he does get a takedown. Do you think he's going to be able to control Cop out the ground for that long? It's going to get back up to the feet, right?
He's also coming short notice, relatively, right?
Well, no, he was already on this card, so you can say it's short notice, but I think it's a change of game plan, right? It's a change of game plan. Yeah, 5 rounds, change of game plan. I would feel more confident in choosing Asu if this fight was scheduled like ahead of time and he had a full camp, like to kind of game plan for this. But I don't think cardio is going to be a problem in this 5-round fight. He's gone 5 rounds before. But a lot of questions are going to be answered if it goes the distance. I want to see how Kop's cardio looks, right? Kape cardio looked in the 4th and 5th round. And I want to see how his takedown defense looks up against Asu. Because Asu, I mean, yeah, he's a slow starter. He's a slow cook, but he gets it done, man. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting fight. I think these odds, like you've been saying all night, are a bit disrespectful, but they make kind of sense, right? Based on the stats.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah.
I think this screams live bet all over, right? I think this is good to watch for the live bets.
Well, if they get if he, like I said, these are also flyweights, man. Like this guy, I don't really think I've seen fatigue out of him. I don't see a fatigue out of Kape as well. I think the vulnerability is that kind of a takedown. But Mohammed, that's how this guy fights. This guy's the most aggressive guy, but he doesn't finish people. So
yeah,
I think. Well, and also let's be honest with each other. Manuel Kape got dominated in that fight with the grappling department. You didn't think he went back and he said, "Okay, I need to work on my takedown defense. I need to work on my grappling.
Mm-hmm.
This can't ever happen again." Especially with the likes of Moreno, Royval, those guys, Tatsuro. Those guys are tough grapplers. So,
who do you think out of these two guys? Who do you think has a better chance of becoming champ?
Kape.
Like, who do you think has a better? Who do you think has a better? Who do you think has more success fighting the Brandon Morenos, fighting the Royvals, fighting the Pantojas? Like, who do you think out of these two?
I think Kape has shown me that's last fight. He had a performance breakout that really put him out there because it's not that Bruno Silva is not a bad fighter. Like if we evaluate, he's 14-5. Let's look at his record. I just think his mindset when it comes to fighting is just different. Look, he picked Cody Dern, tough guy, Tyson Nam, Vic, JP Buys, lost to Tagir. Tagir's no joke though.
He also lost to people like to use MMA math, right? Like you look at Asu Almabayev, he beat Nicolau, whereas Kape lost to him via split decision, right? So Pantoja, I don't really like to use MMA math.
Yeah, Pantoja. Matthews Nicolau to a split decision. That's debatable. That was close. I don't know, champ. We might be in for a surprise on that night. We're gonna see what happens. But I think he's probably changed camps, addressed his flaws, and go from there. But again, Asu could be like the what do you call it? Like his friend over here, Shavkat. Do you see that? And that's what we're betting on, right?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna pick Kape to win this fight. I think he can get it done. I think he will get it done. I think his forward pressure, his striking is better than. It's just the takedown is the main concern. But I think his takedown defense is good enough to hold out throughout the fight, and we'll see, man. I'm gonna be looking at the live bets, so like you said, I'm gonna be licking my lips watching the live bets. Bless you.
Well, and maybe the over is going to a decision here, right?
I think it goes to a decision. I don't see if he finishes Almabayev, that's gonna be impressive, right? Because he hasn't been finished in the UFC.
It's a minus 150 for a decision. So I think a minus 150 is what the doctor ordered.
That's what the doctor ordered, huh? Let's see real quick. Let me just check one last thing that I haven't checked. Yeah, see, he's never been KO'd actually in his career. He's only had one submission loss and one decision loss. So yeah, I think it does go to the decision. Now, if Kape is able to secure a knockout here, that's gonna be impressive, man. It's gonna make him, like you say, undeniable. All right.
Yeah,
Something like that, undefeated in the UFC. Oh.
Let's see what happens. Let's see if Kape is the real deal, because the whole thing is that two months ago when he fought Bruno, he said, "Give me the champion. I am ready." And Dana was like, I'm gonna give you something, and then if you pass that test, you get a chance for the belt. And that test was Royval, and Royval got injured. That's not on him. That would have been a good fight. That would have been a very good fight, actually.
Yeah, so Almabayev's on a 17-fight win streak. It's kind of impressive, man. He's on a 4-fight win streak in the UFC, 17-fight win streak in his career on the regional scene in here. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's actually a good fight. I think a lot of people are.
He just hasn't fought, yeah, but also he hasn't fought the true contenders of that division, because Matthews, Nicolau,
Osborne, CJ Vergara, you some okay guys. But yeah, as you're saying, that
CJ Vergara was running against Alzu as well. Like,
we just talked about that off air too.
CJ, right? The runner, bro. My boy, Matt Chanel.
Who's that? That's CJ's record?
Yeah, I mean, he's faced top opposition, but Nicolau is like fighting. So this is the issue with some of these guys have been fighting since 2015, and when they get pitted against each other, bro, I'm just like, man, Matthew has a lot of wear and tear, especially he's an old fighter for the division. That's why I'm just trying to kind of compare where these gentlemen are at in their career, and it's hard to play that game, right? It's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, gets two fighters, Steve Ersic, Manel Kape. I think the safest bet is to kind of put on the over.
Yeah, we'll see.
Minus 150. Yeah,
we're both going with Kape, Manel Kape to get this done. There you have it. There is our full card breakdown for UFC Vegas 103, Kape versus Almabayev. As always, we will be live on X with the immediate fight recaps. Make sure you tap in on X. Make sure you follow us. Show some love. Like, subscribe. We're going to give you guys our bets out tomorrow on X or Friday, as well with our picks. So make sure you're tuning in, you're following it. A lot of people, like someone on X was asking me, "Oh, when are you guys recording?" We like to record on Wednesdays because these cards, like if we were to do it earlier, these cards get shuffled, fights get canceled, so we'd have to re-record, and I don't want to get into that habit of recording and then re-recording and re-recording again, right? Updating, because we both have careers, right? We both have lives outside of this, right? We do this for fun because we enjoy it, right? We love the fight game. So make sure you guys are tapped in. Make sure you show some love. Any parting words, my man?
I'll see you on Saturday.
All right. My man went. I think this is my man's most DJing card. We'll see. Peace. Love what you love. Do what you do. Late.